I'm Danny Medine here at the Springfield Mile for round 3 of AMA Pro Flat Track. There is so much extra excitement heating up this weekend. We have Troy Bayliss, 3-time World Superbike champion, here with us at this run in the next couple miles. We have Danny Eslick, American road racer, returning to his roots here at AMA Pro Flat Track. So stay with us, don't move. A lot of racing is coming your way.
Jared Mees, Grand National number 1.
Brian Smith, National number 42.
Hey, I'm Sammy Halbert, number 7, watching me live on fanschoice.tv. I'm Kenny Coolback, watching live on fanschoice.tv. Hey, I'm Brandon Robinson, national number 44, and watching me live on fanschoice.tv.
I'm Shayna Texter, number 52, and you're watching me live on Fans Choice TV.
I'm Henry Wiles, number 17, watch me live on fanschoice.tv.
I'm Rob Pearson, number 27, KTM GE Waters Auto Body.
I'm Jeffrey Carver, national number 23. Watch me on fanschoice.tv.
I'm Johnny Lewis, watching me live on fanschoice.tv.
We're back here in the booth. I'm Scotty Dubler. Beside me is the 7-time champion, winner of so many nationals. I lost track. I can't even count that high. Chris Carr, how are you doing today? We got 2 main events left. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, gotta find your joystick there.
I thought I was ready.
You thought you were ready?
We're looking forward to the first two main events of the 2015 on a mile, and the Springfield Mile at that. So some great storylines have developed over the course of the day. Not all of them have kind of seen their way through. You know, I ran across Troy Bayliss, and he says, that last one was a bit better, wasn't it? And I said, yeah, it was. So it was good to see him progress over the course of the day. Unfortunately, didn't make the final. But I think the interesting thing will be to see how he performs here in September after he's had a few more races under his belt.
It's going to take him some time. You know, I mean, it's his first time out on a mile, first time on a big, the big Ducati like that in race conditions. So it'll take him a little bit of time. The first race coming up next, and the last call has been made out to the GNC2 riders to staging. They're going to come out, and we're going to do a little bit different this year. They're going to come out and go straight around and then pull straight up to the starting line. So we'll give you the starting lineup as they are all down there on the back straightaway. So that's a good chance for these riders to look at the racetrack. Some of the riders haven't been on there since the very first heat race, which was at 1:30 this afternoon.
Yeah, it's good way to look at the track, and I believe we have some impending weather here in central Illinois, and ideas to kind of hustle the program up. It takes more time to walk them out and introduce them, so we're gonna tell you, or you're gonna tell us who everybody is.
I will.
Yeah, you're gonna tell them while they're doing that warm-up lap. So
Okay.
I'm looking forward to both of these main events. It's going to kind of set the stage for the remainder, especially the next 6 weeks or so as we get through, 4-mile races in the next 6 weeks.
And then throw in the X Games right in the middle of that stuff too, which it's a non-national, but it's a super exciting event for our sport for sure. So GNC2 riders will be coming to the racetrack here in the next couple of minutes. There's 18 riders. We started with 32, so 18 of them left. We'll be running 12 laps, which is 12 miles. Do you pretty much get going right off the bat and go as hard as you can for 12 laps? I mean, tire wear won't be an issue, will it?
Well, if I were racing today, no, because I wouldn't be able to last till the end if I took off as hard as I could.
You'd be running over your tongue.
I'd be running over my tongue in a hurry. But, the racing today is different. These guys tend to go hard from the very beginning. It hasn't seemed to be the tire wear issues that we had in the 80s and the 90s. I know there were some changes made to the Goodyears through the years, and now they're called Dunlops. And but the interesting thing when we come back here in the fall is that we're going to be on the new Dunlop tire, and they haven't yet gone the 25-mile race here. So there's all kinds of little subplots that could determine some things down the road.
12 laps, definitely. It's going to be an all-out, all-out war for 12 laps. We got a lot of fast guys in this one. GNC2 riders, do you got any favorites you want to pick right now, or you want to hold back a little bit?
I was very impressed with the two heat winners, the 27U of Jamison Minor and the 44E coming from behind. The Davis Fisher has seemed to have a little bit of issues with handling. We'll see if that kind of wears on him, so to speak, late in the heat in the main event.
Hold on a second. They said Ryan Barnes, you are needed in staging right now. We're getting ready to go without you.
Ryan
Barnes, last call to staging.
Well, hopefully they're not having an issue with his motorcycle in the pit area. I'd certainly love to see him do well. He certainly made a lot of progress in his heat race, very competitive and close third place. So get him out there and get some experience.
Back to your two heat race winners. Both of them kind of got away from everybody else. Nick Armstrong was my surprise. He came from deep in the field. He had a terrible start out there on that. He's riding a Kawasaki EX650. It's a Goken Racing entry. Chip Chisholm Racing, Southland Racing, and he'll be on the 44E. He hasn't even been racing motorcycles very long, Chris. Did you know that?
No, and he's very impressive. I watched him at several venues over the last 6 months, and very smooth rider, very in control, doesn't ride over his head, and he was a very patient man in that heat race and pulled out his win essentially in the three-rider drag race with Scott Stump and Austin Helmholtz coming off the final turn. So good job for him. Great opportunity here on arguably one of the best miles.
The flagman and the assistant flagman tell him 1 lap. They're going to take 1 lap. It's a sighting lap. They're going to stage him up, and we're going to go racing. I'll wait just a second. You want me to wait? They're all wide open on the front straightaway, so we'll wait a second before we give the starting lineup. Almost all of them made their way out there onto the racetrack, shifted through the gears. Some are showing off on the back wheel a little bit.
Yeah, that's good to get it out of their system. We got a crop of youngsters or inexperienced riders on the front row, but we have a veteran. Hasn't raced dirt track in a while, but he's no stranger to winning here at Springfield. Scott Stump, the 77U. So we got a great mix at the front.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's your starting lineup for our first main event of the afternoon. GNC2 class on the pole. Actually, first pick on the front row, the 27U, Jamison Minor. Barrington, New Hampshire rider. 44E, Nick Armstrong, Norco, California rider on the Kawasaki. 67M, that is Dashin Davis Fisher, Warren, Oregon on the Racing Unlimited Kawasaki. The 77U, Scott Stump, Berlin, New Jersey on the JMK Pro Aprilia RSV 1000. 68A from Moton, Pennsylvania.
Very good.
All right, Ryan Barnes, he's on the Barnes Racing Kawasaki. Last rider on the front row is the 16M. We met him at opening ceremonies. He was our fast qualifier. That's Austin Helmholtz, Sherwood, Oregon. Row 2, 14A, Dalton Gautier. 30Z, Bronson Bauman. 72F, Tyler Butts. 24J, Brandon Wilhelm. 11Z, our points leader, Andrew Luker. 19B, Justin Jones. Let's go back to row number 3. Another veteran, the 56A, Roy Miller. 47F, Austin Conant. 23F, Jeffrey Lowry. 16S, Tristan Avery. 36B, Colby Carlisle. And last rider in this main event is the Warrington, Pennsylvania rider. That's the 54A of Dan Bromley. It is main event time here in Springfield.
I'm sure there's plenty of butterflies fluttering in stomachs at the moment. First mile race.
Are yours?
I'm okay.
You're okay. All right.
I'm over that. If I had been suited up, yeah, I'd have them. But I'm really good right here. But I'm looking forward to watching.
Because you're with me. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Main event number 1, GNC2 class. Several Kawasaki's, 1 Aprilia, 1 KTM, 1 Suzuki. Couple of Harleys, mostly Kawasaki's here in this one. Watch the green light. Bikes are in gear. Clutches are out now. Helmholtz from the inside gets a pretty good shot into the first corner. It's the 16M. Now it's Stumpy. The 77U, the Aprilia's got another good start. Here comes the bright green Kawasaki of Davis Fisher. Fisher on the outside. Helmholtz ducks into third. It's Stump, Fisher, and Helmholtz as they go off of 2 down the back straightaway. It looked like the Davis Fisher took a look over his shoulder and said, who's coming up the inside of me already?
Yeah, You know, the thing I noticed with the Aprilia up front here with Scott Stump is that bike is very solid, as we have a couple riders way wide in the middle of turns 3 and 4. I think that's a lot of adrenaline going on the first lap.
And that wind pushing them down there into turn number 3, a combination.
But the 77U of Stump on the Aprilia, that bike appeared to be very strong, and they had a lot of difficulty in drafting him in the heat race. We know that the bike that Davis is on, Davis Fisher, is a proven motorcycle. He gets a good run off at turn 2. We'll see how it runs in comparison as he comes up the inside. Looks like it runs pretty good. Makes a draft pass by Scott Stump into third.
Your heat race winners after the first lap. Armstrong was in 14th and look back there too. Jamison Miner's back in 6th. So if they're going to do it, they have to come back to the front. 67M is out front. That is Fisher. Stump now in 2nd. And Luker up to 3rd. That's our points leader who got a good start. He's up to the 3rd spot.
Yeah, good first lap. 4th spot. Good first lap for him as we see the Ryan Varnes in 5th slots in behind him. We got some young riders with some veterans out here. Stump struggles a little bit off turn 2.
Here comes Wilhelm trying to make the pass. Davis Fisher did what he needed to get around Stump in a hurry. He's trying to break away from him. One rider down, going into 3. First rider on the ground. He goes into the air fence. He's sitting up already in a hurry.
The 11Z of Andrew Luker, I believe, has gone down.
Yeah, the bike's running wide open. He picked himself up. He's trying to get the kill switch right now. So Luker goes down. And he's into the air fence now. Puff of smoke from the Aprilia going into turn number 1. That is Stumpy. Stumpy's got smoke off the 77 bike. He pulls out of the way.
Tough break for the veteran Scott Stump.
Red flag will be coming out for 2 reasons, ladies and gentlemen. Andrew Luker throws the 750 down into the third corner. He got up in a hurry, shut that bike off because it sounded like it was running wide open from here. And then Scott Stump seemed like the Aprilia let go going into turn number 1.
Well, you know, we saw how strong that thing was running, and you know, a lot of times they've said, you know, they always go before they blow, and that one there appeared to be running real good today. Unfortunately, it looks like Luker's effort's going to be finished here as the exhaust pipes have been ripped off his motorcycle. You know, he can maybe make it back to the pit area, but I don't know if they can hang a set of pipes on it that quick.
The 11Z, Andrew Luker, the rider that threw it away down there in turn 3. Looked like he just got in there a little bit too hot. The pipes drug completely off the bike. He's going to hop on right there. Steve Moorhead, the national number 42, the Findlay Flyers, going to give him a pushback on that Kennedy Racing XR 750. You know, he was having a good performance. He got up there in a hurry. Was in about the 3rd spot when he went down, maybe a little bit closer to that, and just threw it away going into 3.
Yeah, I didn't quite see how or why he went down, but certainly they're carrying a lot of speed. It looks like the wind speeds have picked up significantly. They were pretty strong earlier. They look even stronger now. So he might have got shoved in there a little quicker than he expected.
And one thing we were talking about just a little while ago before the red flag happened is they're taking a look at the racetrack, make sure it is okay. But, you know, our heat race winners were way back in the pack. Last time by, Nick Armstrong, the 44E, was all the way back in the 8th position. And I believe the other heat race winner, Jamison Miner, he's not even hardly, you know, up there on the leaderboard. I don't even see him right now.
Yeah, he was running in the 6th position. So
okay.
The 11Z behind the wall, that means he's
right?
done. Yeah, his afternoon is done. Once you go behind the wall, your main event is finished.
Well, that is the only bike they have. I know they just got it. They made a mad dash all the way out to New York. I believe that is Matt Weidman's former motorcycle, and Matt just sold it to Kennedy and them not too long ago. So he's done for the afternoon, which is a tough break for our points leader. He will be scored 18th, I believe, depending on where they score Scott Stump, 17th or 18th, and you know, no points available. I mean, really, it's a
single point. Yeah,
right, one point.
Tough break for our point leader. It's certainly going to be a big blow, as a lot of the riders that performed well in Daytona are also in this final here. The Justin Jones and Dalton Gauthier, those guys are all circulating around in the main event as well. So.
Absolutely. So a lot of people are going to pick up some points on our current points leader. Looks like one of our Kimco scooters went back there on the back straightaway to help pick up the 77U of Scott Stump, former national number 77, 2-time 883 champion. He's back out here giving it a whirl. His son, Eric Stump's been in Kansas City doing some testing for some supermoto stuff, so that's why he's not racing. Scott said, I'm going racing.
Yeah, that's good to see him back. You know, I mean, I've known Scott for 30 years, and to see him back out here, acting like a kid again is good. We all got to be a little immature every now and then, so it's good to see him back out here riding around.
You get to do that next Saturday night.
That's right. I get that. Springer and I, a 58-year-old and a 48-year-old going out there reliving our youth. It's going to be fun for a short period of time.
So the rest of the bikes are being pushed up to the starting line right now. I believe Danny's trying to catch up with our down rider. I don't know if she's quite caught up to him. I believe Andrew's talking things over with his grandpa, and Jerry Kennedy's down there. Let's go down to Danny.
Andrew Looker, tough break out there. Can you tell us what happened?
Yeah, I was going into 3 down there, and we were doing good. Got a good start, was able to work our way up towards the front. And another rider drafted me down the back straightaway and passed me on the outside and just came down to me. And it was either me slide it out or high side off the back of him. So.
Are you feeling okay?
Yeah, we're all right.
Disappointing, though, because you're our current points leader.
Yeah, definitely. It's a big loss, but we're going to be able to make it up.
All right, Danny catching up with Andrew Luker, who's down there in the pit area. Tough break for him as his first time on a twin, first time on a beautiful XR 750 of Jerry Kennedy. So, his day ended a little bit too early, but you know what? He made the main. He impressed some people, and he was coming to the front there in that main event.
Yes, he did. Not a whole lot of mile experience, even on 450s for that matter. So it was a pretty good performance for Andrew. Unfortunate that it finished the way it did.
We're gonna have a staggered start, Chris. I was trying to pay attention to what's happening on the front straightaway as they're blowing up the air fence with that leaf blower. The air fence, man, what an addition to safety in flat track.
Yeah, and it's interesting that the nature of the crash and where it was nearly at the fastest part of the racetrack, just as you're coming out of the throttle into turn 3, and from that angle, as far as Luker went, he actually only just kind of tumbled a little bit into the air fence, and the motorcycle didn't make it all the way there. So fortunately for him, he didn't hit it hard, and we don't have a damaged airbag and a little delay here, but that's what it's there for. It's a great addition for those of you who like to help protect the riders. You can go to the Road Racing World Action Fund at roadracingworld.com and make a donation on behalf of Dirt Track. You have to specify that, and it helps us defray some of the costs of keeping these bags inflated for them.
So the top 2 riders right now talking things over right now. You think they're working on some strategy, or I mean, they're really competitors? You think they're going to try to work together and try to break away, or what do you think they're doing? Making plans for dinner?
Very possible. Hey, if we work together, we can get away. And I mean, it's kind of a disadvantage for Davis Fisher, as he had about a 10 bike length lead. I have a feeling they're gonna want to drop the hammer and get out front and stay out front.
So it's Fisher out front, 67M. Brandon Wilhelm, the Daytona Flat Track winner, 24J. Austin Helmo right there, the 16M. He was our fast qualifier. There's Jamison Minor now in the 4th spot. Dan Bromley on the Bill Warner Racing Kawasaki is now currently in the 5th position, and it's hard to see who's in behind those folks. And Bromley, Chris is pointing out right now, he's came all the way up there from the 3rd row.
From the 18th starting position, now sitting in 5th. It's a very fortunate first few laps for him. He's put himself in contention to win now. Very difficult to win from the back of this field on a staggered restart, but he's moved forward.
It's a good break for him to have a little short rest period and get ready to go. So they're ready to rock and roll. So once again, it's Fisher. We got the 24J Wilhelm. We got the Austin Helmholtz. We got 27U of Minor, Bromley. Then we got, looks like Ryan Varnes up there on the other green motorcycle. So that's how we're going to line them up and turn them loose. There's Ryan Varnes, the 68A, and then Justin Jones, the 14A of Gautier, and then Roy Miller. So those are our front runners right now. I believe 2 laps have been completed.
10 to go.
Wow, if that is correct. I don't know if that got refreshed with us or not, but we'll definitely have a restart for sure. It is the single file, but it's kind of a staggered start. So here we go, GNC2's restart. Davis Fisher getting out there in a hurry. He goes to the bottom. I figured he'd jump up there on the groove. Austin Helmo snags the whole shot from the 3rd to 1st. It's our fast qualifier from earlier today, and here comes Bromley into 3rd.
Well, and around the outside, sneaking up into 4th, the 56A of Roy Miller too. He was deep in that lineup, about 8th or 9th. Got an outstanding start and run up the outside. As we have an issue with 67.
He put his hand up. Now he's got back on the handlebars. He's back in it, so he must have had some problems. Oh, the red flag. Red flag coming out. Everybody's on the binders. So somebody saw, I just heard on the AMA Pro radio, somebody saw red lights on somewhere, so they put their hand up. So they're going to go ahead and throw the red flag because it's not fair to the rest of the competitors that did not see. So evidently a red light was left on at some point on the racetrack. So that's what happened. Davis Fisher was the first one to throw his hand up. We thought he had a mechanical issue, but then he ducked back into line. So Fisher threw his hand up, got back in line. We're going to stage him up and turn him loose again. A tough break for our fast qualifier. Helmholtz had the shot. Man, he shot out of there from third up to the lead in a heartbeat.
Yeah, that was a good run from third, and the 56 of Roy Miller came from about the 9th spot and worked his way up into fourth. So there's certainly a way to gain a lot of positions. You know, they say the easiest way to pass a bunch of people is off the start, and certainly a few guys have taken that to heart and doing their best and concentrating on good starts and moving forward.
All right, so they're going to line them up once again and turn them loose again. I think there's 10 laps. Is fuel a concern right now? I mean, some of these, you think any of these bikes are trying to run lower fuel to keep the bikes lighter weight?
I wouldn't think they'd want to risk running out at the Springfield Mile. I doubt that's an issue. Maybe somebody's trying to save a pound or two of fuel, but I highly doubt that they're going to run that kind of risk.
All right, so it looks like Bromley's down there talking to Mr. Brent Linger, making sure things are all right. I guess he can explain why the red flag maybe came out. I'm not sure, but everybody's lining them back up. GNC2 race. We'll go straight into the GNC1 race after our victory podium is wrapped up. Here comes the Reverend Ryan Barnes up there on the inside.
Yeah.
They got him staged up and ready to go. There's a good shot from the front straightaway camera. Such a cool feeling. I remember the first time I come in here as a little kid walking up to that fence, practice, and they're going by at about 135, 140 miles an hour, depending on who you talk to. It's so cool.
Yeah,
Such a cool feeling.
It is. I remember the days of growing up watching the San Jose Mile and trying to figure out a way to sneak in the pits.
Right.
And I spent many time with my nose over the top of it and checking out the speed of GNC1 and 2 racing.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, restart, and they're off. Lowry goes back to the high side. Helmholtz trying to get through the gears. It's going to be Wilhelm and now Davis Fisher. Fisher takes the green machine out front. Wilhelm will duck into second. Bromley's right there in the 4th spot. New rider taking over third. We'll figure that out as they head down the back straightaway here on the restart. Fisher, Wilhelm, here comes Miner. The heat race winner's worked his way up to 3rd spot. Bromley now in 4th. Miner's got a fast horse, I believe. Bromley just slips off the groove out there. He was in 3rd, now 4th. Now he's dropping like a rock.
And the 14A of Dalton Gauthier gets a good run, runs himself up into the 4th position. He's been riding really good today. His motorcycle doesn't appear to be one of the faster ones on the track, but he's been riding it very hard through the corners, making up time, and that's what he needs to do. He needs to latch on to some of the faster riders in front of him, let them tow him around. That's the easiest way for him to stay up front is he's riding the corners very hard and getting pulled around.
It is Wilhelm now. Here comes Davis Fisher on the Racing Unlimited Kawasaki. Back around him, made the pass up the inside, kept it down the bottom for the most part. Now Miner shows the wheel and takes over the lead down there in turns 3 and 4. They're going to come off 4. It's Miner, Fisher, Wilhelm, Gauthier.
Good run up front as Davis Fisher continues to fight a shaky, wobbling motorcycle. Runs it up around the outside into turn 1, up off the edge of the groove, gets a little bit of grip, falls back in line. Gonna line him up for a good draft. A lot of these riders are really hopping off of 2. It's like the riders say there's a lot of grip, and sometimes you can get too much grip and it puts a ton of flex in the chassis. As we see Davis drafting back around the outside, crosses over in front of Miner, kind of puts him in a backwash, puts him a little sideways. Takes a little time to gather it back up.
So it's Fisher in the lead with a little bit of head shake again. Here comes Miner in 2nd, Wilhelm in 3rd, Bromley's in 4th. Here comes Armstrong now making his way towards the front. He's up to 5th on the 44E. Remember, he did that at the very end of his heat race also, came up there and won it on the last lap. So out front, it is now Jamison Miner, the 27U rider. He comes to us from Barrington, New Hampshire. Now Fisher goes up the inside. And here comes Armstrong, but he's up to the 5th position now. Armstrong making a move to the front.
Yeah, I've seen all classes, both classes, seems like every race, everybody's having a hard time holding it down going into turn 3. We've seen a lot of mistakes being made with that wind blowing them hard. As we reach the halfway, it's one-on-one between Davis Fisher and Jamison Miner. Miner not able to quite make the draft pass by the start-finish line, but he is able to carry his momentum on past that and make the pass going into turn 1. The way it sets up right now, Davis Fisher's in the catbird seat, being able to go by. He says, I can lead off of turn 4 and beat him to the line. The interesting thing will be is if Jamison Miner is letting him lead to the line.
Yeah,
and if a young rider is thinking of those kinds of thoughts, that bodes well for his future. But Miner comes out just up a little short there at the finish line with 5 laps to go, and this is a 5-lap dash for the win between these two.
Davis Fisher has 2 wins in the GNC2 division, and Jamison Miner's looking for his first ever GNC2 win. They're the 2 leaders, have broken away from everybody else. In the back of the pack, third is Bromley, Nick Armstrong 4th. Wilhelm has faded back to the 5th spot. Gautier 6th, Ryan Varge 7th, Austin Helmholtz, Bronson Bauman, and Austin Conant finished your top 10.
See, Ryan Varnes has moved up into the 6th position, fighting for position, looking for getting in the race. That's a heck of a race for the last rung of the podium.
And it's a heck of a race for the lead, actually, too, because Fisher's got his hands full with a lot of head shake. Now it looks like the 68 of Barnes getting tired of following Wilhelm. He tries the high line down there in turns 1 and 2. Armstrong's put himself now in the 3rd spot. Down the back straightaway is your leaders. It's Fisher with the head shake on the front end. And then we got Miner in 2nd. Armstrong leads the rest of the pack in 3rd. Bromley 4th. Wilhelm in the 5th position.
You know, the 54A of Dan Bromley, as we see somebody trying to go around the outside of him, is one of the taller riders in the entire paddock. He's about 6'4", reminiscent of the late Ted Booty, who was 6'4". Rider has a lot of leverage, and I think back to all the riders that have ridden for Bill Werner through the years, who builds the motorcycle that Bromley is on. You know, he's about a foot taller than all of them. So
wow, the leader hanging on with the handlebars with both hands all the way around down the back straightaway. He's got a lot of head shake, but he's hanging on to the lead right now. Next time by, lap 10 will be in the books. We'll have 2 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. Here they come. It's Fisher with the head shake. Miner trying to make the pass. He pulls out early this time. Still cannot make the pass. Man, Fisher must have a fast horse. And Armstrong settles now into the 3rd spot. Wilhelm takes 4th away from Bromley. Another green bike up there is Barnes. He's right there in the pack, as well as Dalton Gautier on the 14A bike. That's your top 7. Lap and a half to go, Chris.
Lap and a half to go. You know, Fisher appears to be strong. That or Jamison Miner's just sitting back going, hey, I think I'll just save this for the last lap. We're going to find out for sure. But a handful for the 67M of Davis Fisher up front. You know, running a mile race, not knowing which way the bike wants to wiggle. Miner coming up a little bit short as he pulls out of the draft that last time. I mean, ideally, if he can figure out a way to beat him into turn 3 on this last lap, is probably his best shot of winning. He hasn't proven that he can get by Fisher by the starting line. As he lines up, he needs to try and figure out, how can I get by him? But that 67 is strong, just cannot quite pull up on him.
Last lap, last corner, GNC2 main event. Right now it's Fisher with his hands full, and he's got Jamison Miner right after him. Here they come off of tournament 4. It is Fisher. Fisher with some head shake. Here comes Miner. Miner pulls out early.
Pulls out early. It seems like he accelerates just a little bit too soon to the back of him, not able to get the full effect of the slingshot. But great race for the 67M. Davis Fisher, first win on a twin, first race on a twin here at the Springfield. He did race last year on a twin.
That bike is still undefeated on this racetrack.
And that motorcycle has gone 5 for 5 in Springfield, Illinois.
Well, it looks better on the back wheel than it did on 2 wheels down the straightaway.
It's not shaking near as much either.
Exactly.
Nice wheelie from the 16-year-old kid from Warren, Oregon, 2nd generation, Davis Fisher.
And we just found out John Maxfield and the Illinois National Bank gave $1,000 to split between GNC1 and GNC podium finishers here today. So special thanks to Illinois National Bank, a proud sponsor of the Springfield Mile. Your winner, 67M, Dashin Davis Fisher on the Kawasaki. We got Kawasaki's the top 11 finishers. Oh, top 7 finishers. Jamison Miner 2nd, 27U. Nick Armstrong takes the 3rd spot, 44E. 24J Brandon Wilhelm 4th, 54A Dan Bromley 5th. Ryan Barnes will get the 6th spot, number 68A. 14-8, Dalton Gautier will get 7th. Bronson Bauman 8th on the Harley. Jeffrey Lowry 9th. Colby Carlisle 10th. Austin Helmholtz had a great day going, but still finishes in the 11th spot. Tyler Butts will get 12th. 13th, Roy Miller. 14th, Tristan Avery. 15th will be Austin Continent. 16th, Justin Jones. Scott Stump, 17th. Andrew Luker, our points leader, picks up 1 point for last place in the main event. Good news is he is okay, and we'll see him next weekend as we go back out west where he's from. He's from Salinas, California.
Yeah, I'm sure he's looking forward to racing in his home state, and good. Unfortunate finish for him this weekend, but a decent debut. He knows he's competitive. He knows he's got plenty more chances on the mile here in the future as we watch a very elated Davis Fisher down the back straightaway.
Hear the fireworks
Checker flag,
going off back
fireworks
there too.
going off.
I thought
Yeah.
somebody was shooting at you.
Yeah.
Nah,
I think they were aiming at you, my friend. But,
probably so. Congratulations to Davis Fisher, Jamison Miner, Nick Armstrong, Brandon Wilhelm, Dan Bromley, your top 5. What a good race we had. So we're getting
Ryan Varnes also in 6th, a lot of second generation racers in the top 6 here. Ryan Varnes, I saw his grandmother walking around the pits, nervous wreck as she always was with her son Ryan, former national number 89 as well. As we come up the front stretch, standing up on the bike, there's our winner, GNC2 winner, Davis Fisher. Happy young man gets a win at the Springfield Mile for the first time.
Congratulations to Davis Fisher. 2nd be Jamison Miner. 3rd's going to be Nick Armstrong. I believe Danny's going to start with our winner as soon as he takes the helmet off. The winner's going to be going up onto the podium here in just a second. Again, thanks to John Maxfield and the Illinois National Bank, who gave $1,000 to split between the GNC1 and GNC2 podium finishers. So it's pretty cool to have a local sponsor like Illinois National Bank on board, helping support our flat track racers. So if you need a bank, need a loan, check them out, Illinois National Bank. So first main events in the books. Coming up next will be the 25-lap Grand National main event after this victory podium interview. We'll start with the winner. 2nd and 3rd need to be making their way up there also. We'll get this guy right when he takes the helmet off because he'll be super excited. Let's go trackside to Danny and Dashin Davis Fisher.
Let's let him get his helmet off quick, but what an exciting win. Davis Fisher, you had a great battle out there with Jamison Miner. Can you take us through the last couple laps?
Yeah, the last couple laps, I kind of just held my line and tried not to make any mistakes. And Jamison Miner was right there with me, giving me a battle.
Are you pretty satisfied with the race today?
Oh yeah, started off 14th in qualifying at the beginning of the day, and we've achieved a good goal.
So the Illinois National Bank has a little cash for all of you. So can you tell us anything?
Yeah, I like all the people that step in to put money into racing and making the flat track community grow.
Awesome, thank you. Fans, let's give them a big hand.
So Davis Fisher, your winner, trying to get 2nd and 3rd place up there on the podium. If they could get, yeah, they're behind you, Danny. They're up on the box.
All right, we're gonna step over to Jamison Miner. Let's talk about that great battle that you had at the end.
Yeah, I was trying to stay with him and just draft him on the last lap or try to get him coming into turn 3, but he had a pretty fast bike and it was tough, but it was a good race.
Can you say anything to the fans out here?
Did you guys like it?
Who would you like to thank?
I gotta thank Roy Miller for building a really fast bike, Miller Motorsports for leathers, and Doug Cook for sprockets, Brian Cycle Center, Moose Racing, Scott Goggles, Mike Tinker, my dad, Maggie, Mom, Keith, my sister, just everyone. Thank you.
All right, you guys give it up to 2nd place, Jamison Miner. And we're gonna step on over to Nick Armstrong. You've had a great day out here in Springfield Mile. Tell us a little bit how you're feeling right now.
I'm a little bummed, to be honest. I think if I could have got a good start, I would have been up front with these guys. By the time I got into 2nd, they had a pretty good gap, and I couldn't make it up.
Is there anybody you would like to thank?
Yeah, for sure. I got to thank Chip Chisholm and Tim Gokin for letting me ride their bike. Got to thank Southland Racing, Hamlin's Body and Paint, TDFJ.com, G&G Racing, Leslie Brothers, Cliff Nagatani Farms, Rod Lake, and everyone else who helps me out. Thank you.
Awesome. Springfield Mile fans, give it up one more time to our AMA Pro GNC2 podium.